Hello and welcome to the Blackout podcast, where I get to talk to amazing people who do amazing things. So excited because this person has Joe, my friend, drummer, creator, business owner.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming to the Blackout podcast today.
Appreciate you for having me here.
So first off, I remember I was doing this thing with the library and I knew I wanted a live band.
Right.
So someone's like, talk to this guy, reached out. You were so friendly, so warm, so understanding because I don't know anything about music. So first, how did you get into music? Let's start there.
It started a long time ago. So I'm going back 18 years ago, maybe longer. I grew up in church. And I used to see this guy play drums all the time. I'm like, man, I really want to be that guy. So I spent a lot of time behind him, watching him do all this fancy, cool stuff. And I'm like, man, because back in the day, as a kid, church was kind of boring. So it was really nothing to do, right? So I'm like, I needed to find something interesting to keep me wanting to go to church. I'm like, you know what? Let me try music. So I started playing drums. I started around, we'll say, 7 or 8, and then I took a break because my dad was like, hey, you should try guitar. So I tried guitar. So now I'm around 12 years old, I'm playing guitar, doing lessons, and I got all right. I guess I could say I got pretty good for a minute, and then my interest just kind of went away, and then I fell back in love with drums again. And then basically what happened was, by the age of 16, I became the full drummer for my church and for the choir. Wow. And it was super exciting, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. And looking back, it kept me off the streets. It kept me from getting in trouble because music was just my passion, what I wanted to do. And even so when I was younger, I used to listen to a lot of jazz music. I was that kid, listening to the radio, taking my cassette tape out and recording all the jazz songs and stuff, and then playing it back at nighttime. So it was really something that really made a big impact on my life, even right now. And I just stuck with it. And it has opened up amazing doors, amazing opportunities. I met so many good people, and I would say interesting people. And yeah, it's just opened up a whole new world for me and made a lot of new friends. And, I ventured out from playing gospel to playing R&B, playing jazz, to playing funk. And I remember my first time really playing at a bar. Actually, it used to be called Stainer's Wharf. It's no longer anymore, but that was my first place I went to play music, and I loved it. And then ever since then, I've been going ever since. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Drums, why drums though?
I think it looks cool.
It looks cool.
I mean, if you're not a drummer or you're just a music lover in general, most people always come up to me and was like, hey, I've always wanted to learn to play drums, and I never did, but I just think it's so cool what you do. And I'm just I always say, thank you, appreciate it. And then me looking at other drummers play, I get excited, and I'm just I want to be this guy. And then I was I am that guy. So that was pretty cool. And it's humbling too, because you know what, the further you go in this music journey, you realize you don't really know a whole lot. So in order to grow, you have to be a forever student. No matter how good you are, you have to be a student, and and always be humble, always show humility, because it will take you a long way. And you don't have to so-called be the best at what you do, but if you have a good attitude and a good spirit and a good approach and you're friendly, that will also open up doors for you. And if you're disciplined and that you're always on time, stuff like that, that also plays a factor, because I've seen a lot of good musicians got kicked off gigs because they were either late or weren't prepared, stuff like that.
Right.
And guess what? It has happened to me before.
What?
I mean, hey, I made so many mistakes, man. It's happened. I'm not gonna lie. It's happened to me before, and it's okay, got to be better next time. So I won't say, oh no, I've never been kicked off, or I never made a mistake on a gig. Man, I've made so many mistakes. Mm-hmm. But how it is you learn from them, and sometimes you gotta be good at covering them up. because you know what I mean. Like you can be playing in the middle of a show and make a mistake, and no one else will notice but you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or your buddy, like, hey man, what are you
just,
doing?
yeah.
And number one, always take care of your equipment. And I'll tell you this. I was actually there recently. I did a gig down at the Shore Club, and everything was going great. And I procrastinated. I didn't fix my foot pedal. I should have, and I didn't do it. And I'm playing in the middle of a song, like almost the last few songs of the night. The pedal just fell apart. And there's like so many people there, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Wait. Because you have two, right? The one for the thing and the one
One for
the
the hi-hat and one for the bass drum.
So which one died?
The most important one was so it fell apart, and I'm looking, and I'm like, okay, what do I do? So the next best things will be my floor tops. I'm hitting that, trying to complement, the sound, and it did okay. And then I was like looking for some, like, hey, like someone help me, like I need help. I need duct tape. Like no one had duct tape. Imagine that. So eventually someone came, got a little bit of help, and it was just one of those situations. And then my buddy was like, hey, Joe, you got to get that fixed. And nowhere will I, literally that same week, I went to Lama Quaid. And Long Quaid, all as people know, they are the best. They work with people, whether they got money or not. They have been such a huge help to me when I needed it. And I went there, and the people there were so friendly. They were so nice, and they hooked me up. I didn't even have to pay for it, which was great. And I fixed my stuff, and I just learned, like, hey, like, if you have gear, whether it's music gear, whether it's work gear, don't neglect your stuff. Don't be too busy to be like, okay, let me go through everything I have and see if everything's working good. Because you will get to a place where you're doing something important, and something could just fall apart or break or rip, tear, whatever the case may be. And then you're like screwed sometimes. So the next thing is like when you're professional, you have to like know when a situation happens, know how to deal with it properly without it taking attention away from what you're doing. If you're playing music or if you're working, how do you cope when accidents happen? And people don't always talk about that. I've been in situations where I was doing a job and one of my tools broke. What do? You have to improvise. We always know what to do when we have the tools. We always know what to do, but when you do have it and something happens, how do you fix it? And I think the hardest thing for a lot of people is you can make a mistake. How do you fix your mistake? And that's kind of like my whole thing I would talk about today is like how to fix a mistake. It may seem impossible. It may seem like it's just gonna take you through hell to really fix that mistake, but once you learn how to fix problems and mistakes, you can become a very great asset, not only to yourself, but to others around you. And it can give you the ability to teach others, hey, this is what I did. Don't do this. Whether they listen to you or not, at least you can say, hey, I told you so.
Yeah.
No, I told you so. But it has been a very, so far, great experience, a great journey. And it's like, you always have you are as strong as your team, and also the people that you are around. You got to have a good group of guys or girls. You have to have a good group of people around you because they will help you get to the next level. They will tell you, hey, you messed up. Hey, you can do better here. Like constructive criticism is so important, and not to take it to heart. And trust me, I've been there. Man, there were days, man, someone say something to me, I'm just like, and I'll go home and I'll think about it, and I'll have to go back to a person and say, hey, man, like, I know you're trying to help me, man, but bro, that kind of hurt, I can't lie. But everything comes in time, and it's just basically is trusting the process. I think it's important to trust the process, the journey that you're on, and you know what? It doesn't even matter if someone's a better musician than you or not. You can still learn from people. Because everybody approaches things differently, different perspective of yourself. So never be too proud to learn from someone that you may not think, oh, well, he's no good, man. He's old and he's washed up, but he may have some wisdom that some of us young cats don't have. So it's like, I always say, talk to the older people because they know what they're talking about. And like, I'm an old soul, so like, I'll actually believe a lot of my friends are old enough to be my parents, believe it or not. Like when I have people over at my house, They're old, man. I mean, I'm not, and I don't mean that in a bad way. But I mean, they're old, right? They're like 50s, 60s. I mean, like, oh, like So, but I love it because I learn so much
Mm-hmm.
because they are the ones that have the wisdom. Like, they're the ones that laid out the path for all of us today, whether it's music, whether it's business, or a career that you may want to pick. These people, like, the older people, the older generation has paved the path for us, and we need to always remember and respect that, because without them, I would not be doing what I'm doing. I
Yeah.
can tell you that right now. Like, there's people that weren't even drummers that were like, "Hey, Joe, man, you got to do this." And I'm looking at them like, "Bro, you play piano." Right? But later on, I'm like, wait a minute, he was right. He was right, because when you are in the atmosphere of music, whether you're a piano player, singer, drummer, whatever, guitar player, you automatically adapt the information and knowledge from everybody else because you're in it. Like, I'm not a singer, okay? I'm gonna say it one more time. I'm not a singer, but I'll say this: I was made to sing, in a sense. Like, I had no choice but to sing in choirs. I had I had no choice but to learn how to hold a note, whether I liked it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And even being a drummer, being in so many situations where the band has to stop and the singers got to go through their parts.
Mm.
Over the years, it's kind of hard not to be able to hold a note.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's environment.
Yeah, yeah. You
And
do it enough, it becomes
you see what I'm saying?
like it kind of seeps into your life.
Yeah, and like, you are your environment, so it's so important to be around the right positive people that's going to elevate you. And then there's times where you feel like you may be outgrowing that group. So guess what? You find another one. Doesn't mean you forget about those people, but you always have to be in the rooms where people are better than you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be, because that's how you grow. That's how you learn. And like, I'm on this journey right now. Like, I want to be around better musicians than me. I want to be around people that can tell me, "Hey, I'm gonna kick your ass at this, man. Like, you got to do this, you got to do that." Or being a new entrepreneur, like, I want to be around business owners that've been doing it for years that can tell me, "Hey, this is how you do it. This is not how you do it."
Mm-hmm.
So, in my walk of life at this age now, I'm just looking at the world as it being like my teacher, and for me to never turn down information, no matter how small, how little it may be, and whether it applies to my life or not, because you could
never
give,
know.
what I mean? You could give me some wisdom. I'm like, "Hey, like, that has nothing to do with me," but then I could meet somebody, and that could be something for them, and I can actually share that. So I believe in sharing knowledge. I believe in sharing wealth. I believe in sharing everything, because that's what we're made to do. We're not made to keep everything for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've recently listened to this audiobook. It's called The 5 a.m. Club, and it talks about owning your morning
Mm-hmm.
and making the best of your time. So yes, I told people the first few chapters are just whatever, but once you understand the concept of it, you can see how owning your morning will dictate how the rest of your day is going to go. And that's important as an entrepreneur. That's important as a musician. That's important really for everybody, because how you start your day matters. And in this walk of my life, how I start my morning, it matters. And so I'll tell you a little bit what this book consists of. It's the 20-20-20 minute rule, and it's an hour broken up into sections. So the first 20 minutes rather, is you exercise.
Mm-hmm.
That could be running, jogging, push-ups, gym, whatever. The second phase of that would be journaling. It could be praying. It could be manifesting. It could be whatever it is that you do for your spiritual awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so whatever that looks like for you, whatever that is, you can do that for your own self, for your own self-care, for your mind, for your body, soul, and spirit. After that, it's basically is the time to reflect and to learn. So whether it's you listen to a podcast, a YouTube video, or for me, I will be practicing or learning, or not even practicing, listening to music, literally teaching myself something for 20 minutes. And you do that consistently 5 days a week. And what happens is it opens up, I would call it a new world for you, because then you realize that you start attracting stuff. Good things, of course. Because once you start to read, learn, understand, and tap into that, I would say, supernatural, um, people notice. Not everybody is so-called spiritual in that way, but people sense vibes. I'll use the word people sense vibes. And if you have a good vibe, people will be able to latch onto that, and you will attract what you are. You know, if you're, into smoking, or if you're into drugs, or you're into stuff like that, stuff that's not good, you're going to attract that stuff. But if you're looking to become somebody great, and someone's going to remember you by something, you're going to attract those kind of people. So I've done it. Now, I'm not doing it right now because, it's hard. Like, you have to get up at like 5 a.m. in the morning, right? But I did it for a while, and I've noticed a significant change in my attitude, my days, and just how things were moving. Because a lot of us, we don't take the time to sit and to think, or to reminisce, or to just give thanks for what we have. Because I know that we're very blessed people to be able to even sit here and do this right now, and to share our wisdom, our love, everything with different people. You know what I mean? Whether they judge or not, but we have the freedom to do that.
Yes.
And I think this podcast is a wonderful thing, because it gives everybody the opportunity to express themselves, talk about what they do, how they do it, and hopefully that whoever will be watching, they're going to actually get something from it.
I think for me, apart from it being an excuse to meet cool people like yourself, I think for me it's about learning as much as I can, because you're right.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who the person is. It doesn't matter what they're doing. As long as you stay open, you are going to learn. Actually, talking about learning.
Yes.
So with drumming, with other instruments, it's usually you and one thing. You're playing your guitar, you're playing your keyboard.
Yeah.
But with drums,
Yeah.
you're actually playing like I've seen, like 6, 7, whatever.
Yeah.
How do you, I guess, get yourself to know what to do when, you know what I mean?
That comes early.
What?
It's supposed to.
I don't know about that, because I've sat down there and I'm like, what am I supposed to
You're playing
do?
over here, you're playing over there.
And you're using both legs too.
You know what? I'll tell you this. You know what? I wasn't always the most coordinated person, and I'm working on it. But you know what? Because I was told. That's how I was told. I have not been diagnosed, but I was told I had ADHD, right? Like, I was in school, and the teacher would say, man, he's running the class, disrupt the class. I'm in elementary. Like, I'm wilding out, man. I'm wilding out. And I'm like, what can I do to, some kids will join boxing or karate or whatever. I'm just like, let me get on the drums, man. And that has literally mellowed me out. And what I guess it just comes naturally when you do something enough times, it just comes. But there's two things. There's someone that is naturally gifted, and then there's someone that's gifted in the sense where they have to work a little harder.
Where do you think you lie when it comes to drums and that?
Oh man, I gotta work my butt off. I ain't gonna lie. There's people. I won't say no, but there's people I've seen that haven't been playing instruments for a long time, and they're just like, you're something special. Some people have that thing, whatever that is. But also, regardless, you have to put in work. That's the hardest part. Is as a teenager growing up playing drums, I wasted a lot of time. And I guess most teenagers do, because you want to go with your friends, you want to do this and that. I practiced a lot, but I wasn't practicing the right stuff because I didn't know. So it took me a while, and I got around some new people that knew their stuff, and I'm like, oh, I've been doing this backwards the whole time. I've been doing and I'm right now, I'm still fighting the backwardness that I was taught.
Right.
At the age, I'm 33 now, so I'm still okay, Joe, this was the old you way back. Let's not be that guy. But growing up, I kind of at the time taught myself YouTube videos when YouTube was a thing, when YouTube was a thing back then. And then, like I said, I got around some other musicians, other cool, really good friends of mine, good guys, awesome musicians. And they were show me the ropes. Hey, man, try this. Hey, try that. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then I realized that everything I've taught myself, I'm learning right now. So it was learning my instrument all over again. And what happens is it's like highs and lows. Like you feel you're in a high point of your life. You're right here. Oh my God, I'm doing good. But then you get into a situation where you're like, wait a minute, I'm not as good as I thought. Go back down again. And then you're going, okay. Then you learn, whatever, get back up here again. Another situation. Oh my God, I'm not as good as I thought. So you're just kind of like constantly, like the better you get at something, you start realizing that you don't really know a whole lot. Or the more you think you know, the more you don't know. Because it's kind of like, I don't know if it's the right term, like the ripple effect. Like you learn information. Okay, cool. And then that information has information, and then that information has information, and it goes on and on and on. And you realize that it is endless. It's so endless. And that's why I always say, never stop learning. Never stop getting information from people, regardless of how small or little, because it will help you. And until you die, you will keep learning. And it's what I say, it sucks sometimes, like, oh man, you always got to be humble. You always got to like take a back seat. Yeah. Yeah. Even I'm sure, you know what's funny? Even the most famous people, musicians and artists, they've all had like people that were what's the word? Mentors. Those mentors are not, like, for instance, I could use Kobe or LeBron James. You know, I'm sure they all had coaches and mentors. They weren't pro ball players. They may have not even been in the best shape of these guys, but they still had to listen. If you have like a vocal coach, they're great singers, but the star needs to come to the vocal coach to learn what they got to do to elevate their career. You see what I'm saying? Could the vocal coach do it? Probably, but that's not their job.
Yeah.
And it's all about what your calling is. Like, what are you called to do? And I remember we talked before I came on a podcast. Some people may disagree, but we talked about the difference between what a job is and what work is. Now, like I said, anyone can comment and say this is wrong or they don't believe, that's fine. But, you know, your job is something that you have to get up in the morning and you have to do it. That is your job. It is your job to take care of your kid. It is your job to take care of your wife, your husband. It is your job to put gas in the car, okay? But what is your work? Your work is something that you spend your whole life doing, that you pour your soul into. There's a difference, because when you hear people say, hey, that person put their life's work into this research. They didn't wake up in the morning like it was a job. They woke up in the morning like it's like, I'm going to do this to change the course of humanity. You know, all the inventors, Thomas Edison, different people that invented things, it was their life's work that brought things to light. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes we get kind of like confused. People don't think about it. It's all about the little details. You wake up in the morning, they'll say, okay, to go to work. Okay, that's what they say, right? Or go to your job. But it is not your work. It's your place where you have to be to provide for your family. But is it what you want to do? Probably not. And then there's some people that go to their job, that's what they want to do. That's fine. But your work is something that is not forced. It's not something that you're made to do, but it's something that you're called to do, something that you are most likely good at, something that just takes everything out of you. And that's why people say your life's work, because it's something that's spread out through your whole life. And then they say, oh, my work is finished. And then there is a product, there's something that you produce. When you have a job, you're not producing anything for you. You're producing for the company. And it may not even it may not be nothing of any significance in a sense. But when you are producing work, it's not only for yourself, but it's for everybody. It's kind of like a tree, you know, a tree grows for fruit. The fruit is not for the tree, it's for the other person. Everything that, like, I play music, I learned that I can't play music for me. If I play music for me, I should quit right now. But if I play music, I'm playing music to serve somebody else. That's kind of the point. Music is spiritual, and whatever way you want to take it, it is. Because you can speak to somebody through music. It doesn't matter what kind of music it is. Gospel, rap, hip-hop, R&B.
Did you watch the film Sinners?
Well, I want to. I'm afraid of scary movies. I'm a baby.
No, so I know it's vampire, but really for someone that loves music, I think you'll love it because there is a scene in Sinners where they are playing music, it's the blues and stuff.
Yes.
But then they like incorporate all these other like music from indigenous and Chinese and African and it's like one of the most beautiful scenes I've seen in a film. Like I had tears in my and I don't know why it touched me so much, but it was just like it was like a spiritual scene. And it's in a horror movie, but you should see just for that.
Now I'm gonna watch now because you said
It's like, before all this stuff happens, but it's one of the most beautiful things I've seen on TV.
Well, there you go. So and that is why when it doesn't matter what atmosphere that you're in, but like I said, I've been at a lot of different church events, and you hear music, and it can speak to whether you're a believer or not. You can be just someone that's just trying to find their way. And I've seen it happen. People coming off the street and listen to music, and they'll be like, "Man, I was going to hurt myself tomorrow," we'll say. And when I came in here and I heard that, it like made me realize, oh, I still have a fighting chance.
Music is life changing.
It is, and that's one of the reasons why I do it. Like I help out at my church, like doing Sunday school program, and every year they do a music thing, and I've been privileged and blessed to help the kids do that, and it's been successful every year. I'll be doing it again this year, and just seeing the kids laugh and smile and have a good time and learning music to serve everybody else, it's such an amazing feeling. I also like my son, he plays trumpet.
Oh,
very great trumpet player, very talented. He'll hopefully be joining a jazz band soon.
Amazing.
So he's been doing really well, and I've been trying to tell him that, hey, like, music is going to take you places farther than it took me, because you're younger, you're better than I am right now, like he is, and I'm super proud of him, and then I'm my youngest.
Have you played together?
Yes. There's actually, you know what? It is on Facebook. We did something together. We did it at a church, and he's actually going to be playing Remember State Weekend. He's been asked to wear his uniform and do the anthem with his trumpet. So that's going to be great.
His uniform? Like school uniform?
Oh, no. He's in cadets. Sorry. Yes, he's in cadets, by the way. Yeah. So he's going to be wearing his uniform. He's going to be playing trumpet. And it's gonna be great. He did that last year.
I guess, I don't have kids, but if I'm playing a drum, I want my child to play drums too. Like, how did it feel when he started playing the trumpet? And
you know what it's like? I'll say when I was a kid, my dad fixed up on cars. He fixed up on everything, and he just did. He was one of those guys that could do anything, plumbing, all this stuff. And I didn't have any interest in it.
Oh.
I didn't have any interest. I never had any interest in trade. All I want to do was play drums and play video games. And I had no interest. It's weird. And then when I got into my late 20s, I ended up doing a trade, which was like, wait a minute. Where did that come from? So when my son was like, I don't want to do drums, I don't want to do this. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because a lot of parents, we pressure them to do stuff sometimes. And it may not be what they want, but, we make them do it anyway. So I'm just like, you want to play drums? Fine. You'll come back around. And then he picked trumpet. And I swear he was like, I'm sorry that I did, because now I have to practice. I'm like, well, hey, buddy, if you were doing drums, I'll be standing over your shoulder. It'd be a whole lot worse.
Yeah, it's true.
but the fact that I wasn't biased and he picked up the trumpet, it was the right instrument for him.
Yeah.
And sometimes we always look and say, what is right for us? What's right for you?
I know.
It's hard.
The thing to me, I love strings. I love strings.
Yeah.
But there's a group called Brass Tracks.
Okay.
And when they put trumpets on the songs, it's magic, yo. It sounds so different. Strings are great and all, but brass is just
it's the best.
Urgh!
Well, when we did that concert,
that guy with his thing,
and I had my good friend come and I said, hey bro, can you do this? He's like, yeah, sure. And it literally changed. Because those instruments, it pierces through every other sound.
Right.
It's like a sound in itself.
Yeah. That's
how I would describe it. Like drums, we keep the time with the drums. The piano is the melody. You know what I mean? And the bass is the bass, right? But the trumpet literally pierces through the whole thing.
It's true.
And it's great. You know what? there's not too many bands that I know that have a whole section of.
Actually, let's talk about that. So like I said, someone said, talk to this guy. You're just so freaking amazing. I was like, how do you decide? I kind of explained what I wanted, but
Yeah.
how did you decide on the people you called into the band and like decide on? Because it could have been just you, drum and a bass.
It could have
you
been.
know.
I guess as I looked at everyone that I worked with in the past, and I'm like, and it's also having a good group of dudes, right? Good group of guys, right? So I'm just like, man, these guys are so cool. The vibe will be cool, and I know that if I bring everyone together, it's gonna be a vibe. Like I just knew that. So like I call one of them and say, hey man, can you reach out to your friend? Might not be my close buddy. Oh yeah, sure. Boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, you got a band, and we literally only rehearsed once.
I remember you telling me that. I'm like, and the concert rocked, yo.
It was great, right? But this is the thing, eh? So check this out. So say if you're a bass player, right? And I will not make this up. All we have to do is have a conversation that we're having. And then we get on the instrument once, we will automatically link. It's weird how that is, but it's a real thing. Or like I said, oh, well, my best buddy is a bass player. Cool. You put these two guys together, it's like they're talking to one another. It's such an incredible experience. Like, I'll be at church playing, like, I play like once a month at my church. We'll play, and my good friend, he's playing keys, and we play together. We've been playing together for years. Like, he's got his thing going on. We've been playing together for years, and there's times where we don't have a rehearsal. And it happens. And there was times like we'll play and have a rehearsal and have the best sounding set out of all the times we played together. And then we'll get off stage like, man, did you feel that? I'm like, yeah, bro, I felt that, man. Like, because I could feel his energy. He can feel mine. And he knows if I'm going here, Joe is going to go here. And it's just going to mesh well so together. Because like I said, rehearsals, you got to rehearse. It's important. But there's times where you can't. So all those times you rehearse, all those times that you play with that person, we got to make sure that we're taking something in for the times where you can't. Like,
I'm talking about our concert, like those artists had their songs already. Like, what was the process for you to like take their song and then bring your music together?
well, basically, it was what everyone was sending out the songs through email, whatever. And how it works is that we're supposed to learn the songs on our own. And that's the thing too, is like when we go to rehearsal, we're there to do the song, not to learn it.
Oh.
I've learned that before the hard way. Trust me. Yes, I'm telling on myself. Like, I've been in a situation before. Like I remember I was playing. Who was I playing for? I think it was the mass choir, maybe. And I remember I was given some songs. I'm going back maybe 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was given some songs. And everything was good, but there was this one song. There was no drums in it. So I'm like, okay, cool. So stupid me, I didn't listen to the song, and I listened to part of it, and then we got on the gig, and I played the song, or I was waiting for the song, and there was literally drums at the very end. That was a rookie mistake. Like I know better, right? And there was drums at the end, and it was like something that I needed to practice.
Right.
And it happened. I'm just like, okay. I didn't do it. So I'm telling them. So I didn't do it. But I was saying this for the purpose of, don't matter how small it is, you gotta pay attention. And I remember that, and ever since that day, I'm like, Joe, you better listen to that song all the way through. You better listen to it all the way through, man. I had a bad habit. I did that a few times, but I learned my lesson, man.
Yeah.
Did I get called back to do that again? No. I actually got called back though a year later though. I went back.
But by then you'd have learned the lesson already.
I learned the lessons.
Okay. So no, the concert was great.
Yeah.
But we've been talking on this music part. We were talking the other day, and you're like, by the way, I'm an entrepreneur now.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. What was the reason behind starting your own business? And
well, how would I put it? Well, I'll start from the beginning. I used to work for the hospital. I started off as a cleaner. So when I say I started from the bottom, I consider. I'm not saying cleaning is the bottom, but for me, it was a bottom because I worked in the hospital, so you could only imagine the stuff you had to clean up.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say. And then I moved up to be a stores clerk, so I started to be like delivery guy, delivering boxes and stuff. So one day, I get a call. A good friend of mine calls me, say, "Hey man, like you want to learn a trade?" I'm like, "Okay," and at that point, I hated my job. I didn't want nothing to do with it anymore, and I needed a way out. And I tried to quit so many times. I tried to go to other jobs, and it didn't work out. So I ended up going back, and it was just back and forth. And I was trying to get a new role at the hospital too, and they wouldn't give it to me, even though out of the group I was most qualified, which is the funny part about it. So he calls me and says, "Hey, bro, I got something for you." I'm like, "Cool." I took it. After I quit and I took the job, that was me as a drywall or taper. The hospital called me. "Hey, we want to reconsider the interview. We want you to come back." I'm like, "No." 3 weeks later, they messaged me back again. "Hey, just want to know if you're still interested." I'm just like, it took me to quit for you guys. And I said no. I said no. Something told me take a leap of faith, and I did. So, my good friend, they trained me. The family, they trained me. Treat me very well. I learned. They were hard on me, but it was good because in order to get past some stuff, someone's got to tell you, "Hey, man, do better." And I learned. I learned a lot. They taught me a whole lot, and grateful for that. And then I had an opportunity to take another job. It was a good paying job. Another good friend of mine, and it was actually like carpentry stuff, and it was like installing stuff. So I'm like, "Hey man, like let's do it," because I thought that my taping journey was over, right? So I'm like, "Okay, I'll do that," and I did it, and I learned a lot of stuff. It was crazy. I'm like I learned, and unfortunately the company was over. They kind of dissolved, kind of thing. So I got laid off, and I did something else until I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. So I ended up doing some steel framing stuff. I learned another thing. So I was trying to figure out what am I going to do, what I'm going to do. And then I ended up getting a job taping. And that went well for a good 6, 7 months. And then because I was the sub to the sub, I was the first to be finished for that site. So they were like, "Okay, we're done. We don't need you anymore." So then I was sitting there with no job particularly, just nothing. And I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of doing from job to job. I'm just tired of this. And like it just wasn't good because you can't always get paid under the table. You can't just get e-transfers. Like you have to literally show your proof of it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I need to do this the right way because there are companies out there making top dollar, and they're making money off their employees. That's how it works. So I'm like, well, what if I cut out everybody else, stop being the middleman or the last guy, and be the main guy? And it was funny because I wanted to do this for a while, but when you're comfortable, that's the thing I'll talk about is being comfortable. I was comfortable getting that paycheck every week.
Right.
Great paycheck. I was comfortable, and I didn't even go get the tools. I didn't do none of that. I was like, oh, I'm comfortable, and then something made me uncomfortable for me to even make the transition. So once the transition happened, I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Let me start this business. I have nothing else to do. I have nothing else going on. I have nothing but time. So I started the business, and I called it Jules Jax Contracting Services. I've named after my two sons, Julian and Jackson. And I put that name together, and I think it's a great fit. And I did that, and I got my business registered. Got I'm licensed. I'm insured. I had to buy some tools, some extra stuff, the stuff that I've been procrastinating for like 2 years, and I got everything. And actually, you know what? I've had some jobs for the business already, and I'm currently waiting on a contract from someone right now. So it's been a little slow, but I just started, so I'm not expecting something just to blow up out of nowhere.
Right.
So I have to be patient, but it's what I wanted to do, and I know what comes with it. So there's a lot of problems that come with it, but there's also a lot of pros too, right? Because once you get over that hump, it's pretty much, I would say, straight sailing from there, right? And also, like I said, you're as good as your team.
Yeah.
You gotta have good people that's gonna help you. Like I'll say this: I got some really good buddies out there. Some people I don't talk to every day, but I know there's a lot of people I can call anytime and say, "Hey, bro, I need your help." So I have an awesome support system, and not everybody is blessed to have that. You know what I mean? And I'll say this too. I'll say this. I just recently, yesterday, I just lost my grandmother yesterday,
Sorry for your
and
loss.
that's been tough. My parents are away right now. In Ontario, just kind of getting things together. It's sad, but at the same time, it's a happy moment because she was suffering. She was 92 years old,
Oh wow.
and she was suffering. You know, she had a stroke. You know, she just had a lot of issues, and she doesn't have to suffer anymore. And this is probably one of the closest people to me that has passed away since I've been alive. I've been blessed to have all of my immediate family, people I'm close to, still be alive right now. So this is the first person that's really close to me that I lost. And then, like I said, I'm heartbroken. I haven't told my kids yet because they're doing sports all this weekend. So I didn't want to ruin the weekend, but we will be talking to them probably on Sunday, and they're going to be devastated. And it's like I'm more worried about how they're feeling versus myself, you know.
Right.
So it's tough. And like I said, I literally just started this business, and things been a little, tough here and there. And then grandmother passed, and so I was like, oh man. But I know that there's gonna be a lot of good things gonna be happening now. Like I look at it's only up from here, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
so I hope that yes, I just wanted to share that. It's been it's been an emotional couple of days. But you know what? What doesn't kill you make you stronger. I always have to stay positive and optimistic because there's going to be so many challenges in life that's going to try to throw you off your path. And I'll say this, and you know this, being an entrepreneur is not for the weak.
Oh my God. Yes.
And you
Yeah.
know what? I want to say it's just a buddy of mine sent me this. It was a video, and he was talking about how being an entrepreneur is spiritual. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. How is an entrepreneur being spiritual? He's like, well, you're praying to somebody. Okay? I pray to God, but like if you're praying to whoever you want to pray to, hey, am I going to get paid this week? Hey, is this customer going to give me this job? Oh, are they going to accept my offer? Or is this going to work out? Or did the invoice get sent in yet? Or is this customer not going to complain? There's always something.
Yeah.
So you don't know. Yes, it's like I don't know when my next meal is gonna be, right? So it's like I might be eating Mr. Noodles for about 2 weeks, But like I've heard so many success stories. Like I heard some stories, man. Like, and I'm like, I'm better off than that. So it's like I have no choice but to win. And people will tell you, oh, you should do this, oh, you should do that, not knowing the situation. And I'm guilty of it. You got to be careful of who you tell certain things to, friends or family, because when you get into a tight spot, everybody wants to be a fixer, but no one is saying, hey, I believe in you. Hey, I want to say a prayer for you. Hey, can I donate to you? Or hey, like what can I do to help you? It's more like, oh, you should do this, and this. You see what I'm saying? It's not everybody, but it's some people. So it's like we got to be careful because sometimes when you have people like that, it could literally throw you off track. You can get depressed. You can like literally stop. You can literally stop. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's not for me. You know what I mean? But those are the little challenges of being an entrepreneur. People are going to doubt you. And sometimes it's people that are close to you. It's a real thing.
Oh yeah.
That's how.
And I think that one hurts the most because it's like when a stranger does it, whatever, right? But when the person that's in the house does it, you feel it even more.
Because no one knows that. Oh, I was up until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, searching up business ideas, or I was making cards, or I was sending out emails, or I was doing whatever. That's why I say when it comes to music, I'll go back to music for a second. You have to be doing whatever it is, whether it's practicing or whether it's studying, when no one is watching you. When no one is watching you, what are you doing? People don't know that there's many times for hours or whatever, I'm sitting in my basement, stressing out. I'm trying to learn these songs for this gig, and I'm stressing out because I'm like, oh man, I can't get that hit right. Oh man, it's that song 7 times. Some people may get it in 2. In my case, it happened. It was like 7 times, 10 times I listened to the song. And that's one song. And I was like, oh, Joe, look at the list. You have 18 more to go. You have 18 more to go. So and I've been in a situation, man. I'm not making this up. I was stressed out over this gig. It was like 18, 20 songs, something crazy like that. I'm like, how the hell am I gonna get through it?
Mm.
But you know what happens is, it's like when you practice something over and over again, whether you think you get it or not, or you remember it. If you do it consistently, I'll say for a week, we'll just say, and then what you gotta do is you gotta take a break. It's important to take a break because if you go too much, you're going to stress yourself out.
Break
You
it
have to take a
down.
break, and I've done it. And sometimes listen to something else.
Mm.
Listen to something else. But then I guarantee you, when you go on the stage, some way, somehow, your mind, your brain just activates, and you remember every freaking thing. It's quite amazing, and I've happened to me many times. Stressing out for nothing.
Mm.
Stressing out for no reason. But some of us have anxiety. I have it a little bit, so I'm like, oh, Joe, man, don't stress too much. I'll be talking to myself, man. I'm downstairs just losing my mind, man. But, when it's all said and done, I will not trade places with anybody
Mm.
because when you're passionate, and I'll go back to this, about your work, it doesn't matter what someone says to you. It doesn't matter how of a hard time you go.
Mm.
Look, I went through phases where I had $5 in my bank account, man, and then next thing you know, I got $2,000 within 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's like being an entrepreneur. Or saying, hey, waiting for this customer. So, oh, yeah, he says he's going to pay me last week. It's been a week. My rent's due tomorrow. What are you going to do? You got to pull a trick out of a hat. You have to. But that is why when you start, I'm going back to this, when you start your day, what are you doing before you start your day? And I'm talking to myself and everybody else. So everything I'm saying, I'm talking to myself. What are we doing? But one thing I'll say is important is you got to take some time to yourself. And if you don't, you're going to always be stressed out. You're never going to reach that level that you want.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm, like I said, I'm talking to me because last couple weeks I've been a little bummed out because I've been waiting on stuff. I'm always waiting. But you know what? Gotta exercise patience as an entrepreneur.
Patience is important.
Oh my God.
A question I love to let my guests go
Yeah.
on is basically, what is something that happened to you before you were 17
Yeah.
that plays a huge role in who you are today?
Okay. You know what? I touched a little bit on that, but I'm gonna say this. I'll go back to the music again. When I was growing up, there was a lot of stuff going on. Still is today, but gangs, fights, stuff, and there was a lot of crowds that I shouldn't have been in with, just in general. And what changed me was learning to play music and being a part of something. That's the thing. So when I was 15 going on 16, being a part of something is what made me realize nothing else really matters. I'm a part of something now, something greater than myself, because I'm serving somebody. You see what I'm saying? I'm serving somebody, and people don't realize. A lot of people put down people that serve, whether you're in a restaurant, whether you're a doorman. People do. People put people down like that. But you know what? You know what I learned? The person that's serving you is greater than you. You know why? Because you have to receive something from them. You're not giving them nothing. They're serving you. So if someone is serving you, they're greater than you. You have to look at it that way. Now, I didn't say that they're better than you, but they're greater than you because they're in a position to do something that you are not doing for yourself. So going back to being 15, 16 years old, I'm realizing I'm serving a purpose. Like, I've played at so many churches and church choirs, and I've seen different people come to the church and actually want to be a part of it just because a choir came and sang. You see what I'm saying? Like I've seen people's life change because the choir was there playing music, and I was a part of that. So being a part of that was like, whoa, I'm actually making a difference. And by me making a difference, I don't need to be able to run the streets. Like, I've had friends laugh at me for being in my house practicing sweating for hours while they're outside, going to the store, going to the mall. They were stealing, doing all kind of stuff. And they're like, oh, man, you're not going to get no better. You're just whatever, whatever. Yeah, but you know what's funny? We'll say 20 years later, I get a call. Hey, what's going on? I just got out of jail. do you got any free time at a studio?
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Right,
Those
right,
same
right.
people. And I show mercy to everybody, because if you are a good person, if you're a godly person, or you're whatever, you have to show kindness to everybody, because that's my fruit. My fruit is showing love and kindness and compassion to everybody, regardless if you did something wrong. Even if you did me wrong, I try my best to forgive everybody. That's what I'll say. I try my best. Yeah, I struggle sometimes because I'm human.
You're human, yeah.
But I try my best. But that's what changed me as a young teenager. And also knowing who to trust. That's important. You got to trust the right people, because this is a cutthroat business, especially being an entrepreneur. You can't trust anyone. Someone can come and be cool with you, teach you stuff, and then once you are so-called on your way, they will sabotage you. So it's like you have to be able to discern who is for you. And that's scary, because it seems like the person that you grew up with or people that you grew up with are for you. But then when life happens, they're not. You know, it's really something. I remember, I think I was like 18, and we had to move out of our house, and it was a big house, and we had a lot of stuff, and we were connected to a lot of people. And when it was time for us to move, we didn't have anybody.
Oh boy.
But me and my father, we helped move everyone. Like, I moved so many people, it's crazy. Like, a lot of people owe me a nice plate of food right now. That's how many times No, but we moved so many people. We've helped so many people. And like my dad taught me to like be kind of people, like show mercy to other people. Like if you're a Christian, like be that person. And he showed kindness to other people. We moved people, we've gave people money and stuff. And when we were in trouble, believe it or not, a lot of those people were MIA.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I'm like, holy shit. Excuse my language. I was like, wait a minute. There's something wrong here. So it brings me back to say is that you got to be careful of who is in your circle. And like I said, I'm talking to myself too. Be careful who's in your circle. Not everybody is for you, but there are people that are for you.
True.
And you know what? It's always the ones that you least expect. You know what? I had strangers, man, treat me better than some people that I was close to. It's funny how that is. I've had strangers that showed me love that have been like overly like good to me. And I'm just like, how is that possible? But you won't always get that in your backyard. You know what I mean? But my thing is that I am going to do my best to show kindness and love to everybody, because there's not a lot of that going around. A lot of people don't see people doing something nice for someone else. Everyone's weird now, especially since COVID, man. It just messed up people, you know? Like, I remember I was in the store the other day, and there's this young lady and her daughter. The daughters were buying something, and she didn't have enough money to get her kid these two toys from the dollar store. And the kind of person I am, my reaction was I jumped up and I said, I pay for it. It wasn't a lot of money, I paid for it. And you know when you see someone, no, it's not good to judge, but you see someone, you can kind of tell their life story. It's like, you know, some people wear it, and I could tell that she was going through something. But you know what I said? I said, I did not do that for her. I did it for that little girl, because we don't know what she may be seeing in the home. We don't know what she's seeing outside the home. It's good for a young girl to see that there is still somebody that's kind, that's being a human being. You know what I mean? And you know what's crazy is that I didn't even have a lot of money on me at the time, and I did it. But sometimes when you do something nice for somebody, it holds more value when you don't have a lot yourself. I could have had $1 million in the bank. I don't think it would have meant the same when you don't have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That reminds me of my grandmom. Like, she would do stuff for people.
Yep.
And it's not as if she has a lot, and it was annoying, like, we need this thing and stuff. But growing up, like, being older, I understood how important it was to do that then. Man, Job, I can talk to you over and over. I wanted to say you brought so much magic to that concert, and we should do something. But I'm going to let you go with a little bit of magic of mine.
Okay.
Yeah, so I need you to write a number between 1 and 60.
1 and 60, okay?
60. Do not show me.
Okay.
Once you have it ready, point it to the camera, and I'm gonna use a little bit of magic to turn back. You done?
Okay.
Okay, cool. So I want to use these cards to show you what your number is. Hopefully,
Okay.
it's gonna be in at least one of these cards, but it can be more than one. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Is it here? This card? No. Is it here?
No.
53.
Yes.
There you go.
I do that.
Magic, yo. Thank you so much. Before I let you go, do you wanna check out your business? How do they get in touch with you and stuff?
So you can check out my Facebook page, Jules and Jax Contracting Services on Facebook, or my personal account, Joe Brumaire on Facebook. I have more business cards I'm going to be printing off, and hopefully on the next month or two, I'll be probably build a website. I'm just waiting to see where this is going to take me. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you so much, Joe, for coming.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
thank you
you.
much for
Thank you,
all
man.
the awesome things you do.